Здравствуйте! Меня зовут Вера Алексеевна Полякова-Норвуд. Добро пожаловать на урок русского языка. Добро пожаловать! And let's get down to work right away. During our previous lesson, we started working on Russian verbs. And now we can talk about working, reading, strolling in the park, and doing things in general. So we learned 4 verbs. Now let me ask you this. What is the Russian for как по-русски to read? Читать. Читать. Как по-русски to walk or to stroll? Гулять. Гулять. Как по-русски to work? Работать. Работать. И как по-русски to do? Делать. Делать. So these are our 4 Russian verbs. Читать, гулять, работать, делать. And you have been practicing with the conjugation pattern, haven't you? Again, this is very, very important. We have to learn these things right from the very beginning, and then you can conjugate any verb. So let's take a look at the conjugation of читать. You know, я читаю, ты читаешь, он читает, мы читаем, вы читаете, они читают. The endings are highlighted for you. So you, ешь, ет, ем, ете, ют. Я читаю. Хорошо, ты читаешь. Он читает. And I hope that everybody's working with me. Мы, give me the verb form. Читаем. Вы читаете. Они читают. They are reading. Они читают. Хорошо. Now let's go over the same thing. Conjugation of читать, but orally. Я читаю, ты читаешь, он читает, мы читаем, вы читаете, они читают. Они читают. Хорошо, хорошо. Our next verb is гулять. Гулять. По-английски to walk leisurely or to stroll. Я гуляю, ты гуляешь, он гуляет, мы гуляем, вы гуляете, они гуляют. Они гуляют. And again we are using the very same set of verbal endings. You, ешь, ет, ем, ете, ют. Они гуляют. They are strolling. Хорошо, хорошо. Can you conjugate the verb гулять for me? Я гуляю, ты гуляешь, он гуляет, мы гуляем, вы гуляете, они гуляют. They are strolling. Они гуляют. Хорошо, хорошо. Our next verb is работать. Как это по-английски? What is the English for it? Как это по-английски? Работать. To work. To work. So let's work on работать. Я работаю, ты работаешь, он Работает. Мы. Работаем. Вы. Работаете. Они. Работают. Они работают. Хорошо. Хорошо. Now let's one more time go over the conjugation of работать. Я работаю. Ты работаешь. Он работает. Мы работаем. Вы работаете. Они работают. Они работают. See how nicely and smoothly it goes when you know your endings? Okay, and the last verb is делать. Делать. По-английски to do. Делать. Я делаю. Ты делаешь. Он делает. Мы делаем. Вы делаете. Они делают. Они делают. Хорошо. Хорошо. And as we always do, let's go over it orally. So, я делаю. Ты делаешь. Он делает. Мы делаем. Вы делаете. Они делают. Они делают. And for all our four verbs, we used exactly the same set of verbal endings. Хорошо. Now we know the verb делать, so we can put questions together. Like, what is he doing? What is she doing? What are they doing? We begin with what? Что? Что он делает? What is he doing? Say this after me. Что он делает? Хорошо, let's ask, what is she doing? Что она делает? And now everybody after me. Что она делает? Хорошо, now let's ask, what are they doing? Что они делают? Что они делают? Did you say that? One more time. Что они делают? Хорошо, хорошо. And at this point, we need to look at a few pictures. I will be asking you, что он делает, что она делает, and что они делают. I want you to respond accordingly and in Russian, по-русски. So let's begin. Что он делает? Он читает. Что она делает? Она читает. Что они делают? Они читают. Хорошо. Что он делает? Он гуляет. Что она делает? Она тоже гуляет. Что они делают? Они гуляют. Хорошо, хорошо. Что он делает? Он работает. Что она делает? Она работает. Что они делают? Они работают. They are working. Они работают. Хорошо. Хорошо. Итак, мы сейчас, at this moment, мы сейчас работаем. Мы работаем. Мы хорошо работаем. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. So, let's continue. We can talk about people reading. Да, он читает, она читает, мы читаем, я читаю, вы читаете. But what? Что? What do we read? What do people read in general? Okay. Газета, книга, журнал and учебник. These are the things that we read. But how do we express that within a sentence? And let us start with English first. When I say I am reading a magazine, or I am reading a letter, I am reading a book. These words, book, magazine, letter, appear in my sentences as direct objects. I am reading a letter. A letter is a direct object in my sentence. I am reading a magazine. Now the magazine is a direct object in the sentence. We have to deal with something that we call a direct object. So let's take a look at this graphic. Mother is baking a cake. Now a cake is the recipient of the action that the mother is performing. It is being baked. So a cake is a direct object in this sentence. Dad is reading a newspaper. And in this sentence, a newspaper is a direct object. They bought a car. A car is a direct object in our third sentence here. When it comes to expressing a direct object in the English language, the word order is all important. A direct object always comes after the verb. Mother is baking a cake. Dad is reading a newspaper. I am reading a letter. But the Russian language does not make that big a deal about the word order. In the Russian language, we have what we call a relatively free word order. You're not ready for this yet. So, how does the Russian language express direct objects? What do we do? There's a completely different system. The Russian language has a system of cases that we call declension. In the Russian declension system, there are several cases, and they serve several purposes. Now today, we are talking about direct objects. Let's just limit ourselves to expressing direct objects. And for that purpose, in the Russian language, we have the accusative case. The accusative case. When we need to express a direct object, we have to use that noun in the accusative case. We are not accusing anyone of anything. It's just the name of a case that we have in the Russian language, the accusative case. And the primary function of the accusative case is to express a direct object. You can use whatever word order you like in a sentence, but that word, which is a direct object, has to be in the accusative case. Now, I am reading a book. Я читаю книгу. Look at the sentence. Я читаю книгу. This highlighted word is a direct object. Я читаю книгу. And look at the ending. It changed. Why? Because it's a direct object and it's in the accusative case. Я читаю книгу. Now, let me read the newspaper. Я читаю газету. And let's look at the sentence. Я читаю газету. And look at this ending. Газета changed to газету because it's a direct object in my sentence and I have to use it in the accusative case. Я читаю газету. So, do we put the U ending on every word that is used as a direct object? Журнал. Я читаю журнал. No ending. This brings up an interesting subject. How exactly do we handle words when they occur in the accusative case? Is there a rule for us to go by? And yes, there is. Let's take a look at it. Accusative case. Журнал stays журнал. Книга changes to книгу. Письмо remains the same, письмо. And стихи, which means poems, poetry, verses, remains the same. So what do we do? The general rule goes like this. Masculine nouns do not change. Feminine nouns change their endings from a to u. Neuter nouns do not change. Plural nouns do not change. So masculine nouns, neuter nouns, and plural nouns remain the same. Feminine nouns in the accusative case change their endings from a to u, and книга becomes книгу. One more time. Masculine nouns, neuter nouns, and plural nouns remain the same. Feminine nouns in the accusative case change their endings from a to u. Хорошо. So, журнал, which is a masculine noun, stays журнал. Письмо, a neuter noun in the Russian language, stays письмо. But газета, a feminine noun in Russian, will change into газету. And книга, also a feminine noun in Russian, will become книгу. Хорошо. Хорошо. So, very quickly, let's go over this one more time. Журнал. Журнал remains the same. Письмо stays the same. Письмо. Книга becomes книгу. And газета, газету. Let's make up sentences. Я читаю книгу. I am reading a book. Я читаю книгу. Хорошо. Newspaper. Газета. Я читаю газету. Я читаю газету. Хорошо. Письмо. Я читаю письмо. Я читаю письмо. Журнал. Я читаю журнал. Я читаю журнал. Учебник. Учебник. Я читаю учебник. Учебник. So what should we remember about the accusative case? Masculine nouns stay the same. Neuter nouns stay the same. Plural nouns stay the same. Feminine nouns change their endings from a to u. Я читаю газету. Я читаю книгу. And that's very, very important for you to remember what you do with different groups of nouns when they occur in the accusative case, when they occur as direct objects within our sentences. Ну хорошо, so we talked about reading. Now let's talk a little bit about listening to music. Aha, a new phrase is coming up, right? Слушать музыку. Слушать, to listen to music. Слушать музыку. Does this ending look familiar? It really should. Музыка in this phrase appears as a direct object. Музыка is a feminine noun, so it changed its ending to u. Слушать музыку, to listen to music. Слушать музыку. But we have to conjugate the verb слушать. And that's how we do it. Я слушаю, ты слушаешь, он слушает, мы слушаем, вы слушаете, они слушают. Они слушают. We need to write this down, don't we? And this is what we do. We are working with the verb слушать. Слушать. You already know we have to get rid of there and the soft sign, and we are working with this part. Слуша. Я слушаю. Ты слушаешь. Он слушает. Хорошо, хорошо. Let's work on the plural forms now. Мы слушаем. Вы слушаете. And finally, они слушают. Они слушают. They are listening. Они слушают. Хорошо. Хорошо. And remember, we say я слушаю музыку. Because музыку is a direct object in my sentence. It's a feminine noun, so we have to say it with the u ending. So let's take a look at a few pictures, and you will tell me what these people are doing. Итак, что он делает? Он слушает музыку. He is listening to music. Он слушает музыку. Хорошо. Что она делает? Она слушает музыку. Она слушает музыку. Что они делают? Они слушают музыку. Они слушают музыку. Хорошо. But besides listening to music, you can just listen to any show on the radio. You can listen to the radio. So how would you handle the word radio in your sentence? Radio. It's a neuter noun, isn't it? Do you have to change it? Stays the same. Neuter nouns stay the same. So, я слушаю радио. Иван Иванович слушает радио. Они слушают радио. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. And now let's read a short paragraph about Иван Иванович и его семья. Итак, Иван Иванович и его семья дома. Папа читает газету. Мама читает журнал. А дети слушают музыку. Хорошо, and I will give you a minute to read this paragraph in your classrooms. Please read it out loud. Ну, хорошо. Итак, Иван Иванович и его семья дома. Да, папа читает газету, мама читает журнал, а дети слушают музыку. Хорошо. So we have accomplished a lot during this lesson. We learned about the accusative case. Now you know how to handle different kinds of nouns in the accusative case. You know what the accusative case is for. And we also talked about listening to music and listening to the radio. Хорошо. Хорошо. That's all very nice. But now you have to start working on your additional exercises and practice with the accusative case and changing endings and making sentences that involve the use of the accusative case. And all of that is in your additional exercises for this lesson. But at home, take your textbooks, find урок номер 2, lesson number 2, and on page 88 there's a very good exercise that will be an excellent follow-up on today's lesson. So exercise 2.4, and you work on parts A and B, the first two parts of exercise 2.4. Just follow the instructions in the textbook and you will be able to do a very good job on this. All these exercises involve the use of verbs and handling nouns in the accusative case. So please review the notes that you took during today's class and read your textbook. There's a special section in your textbook, section 2.4, the Russian case system. And keep up with the material as it is being presented in class. Just don't let these words, verbs, rules pile up. Work on them. Итак, большое спасибо и до свидания.